So this is the second or the next function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, that is the major storage tract of calcium. And what does it have? The smooth endoplasmic reticulum has various proteins and receptors on its membrane like this, or the pumps or channels on its membrane like this calcium ATP driven calcium pump. This is the IP3 receptors, which are stimulated by the inositol pyrophosphate. And what are these IP3 and all those are? See, these are pharmacological kind of things. These are different on diacylglycerol IP3 pathway. So you don't need to go into much details of it. You just remember that with the presence of the stimulation from the IP3, these IP3 receptors gets activated. And the another is this the dimer, the STIM dimer, which is called as stomatal interaction molecule. Stromal interaction molecule. This is a dimer which is bound to with the calcium form of which is an inactive form. It does not transfer any calcium. But when this calcium gets dislocated from this dimer, it becomes an active STIM oligomer. And this active STIM oligomer in contact with these ori channels get the calcium inside the cells when there is a low level of calcium is there. So once it becomes active, it also draws calcium from these ori channels, and these calcium channels which comes inside the cell, they are stored inside the endoplasmic reticulum with the help of store operated calcium channels. So that's why the balance of the calcium is maintained. So when the calcium, so what will happen when the calcium storage is decreased? It will calcium store which decrease. This calcium will dislocate from the dimer. It will form an active STIM oligomer. This in contact with the ori channels will draw out the calcium from outside the cell, and they will finally be stored inside the endoplasmic reticulum. Also, so this low levels of the calcium inside can also be occur with because of these IP3 receptors which are present on the endoplasmic reticulum surface. So the basic function of these IP3 receptors is just to get this calcium stored inside the endoplasmic reticulum towards the cell cytoplasm. And when the levels of the calcium inside the cell decreases, this ATP driven calcium channel also balances this the calcium ionic gradient across the membrane. So this is one of the function of the endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, how it maintains the ionic gradient inside the cell. Okay. So the next function or the next part is the part related to the structure of the endoplasmic reticulum. As we have know, it is a kind of sac or also the tubular network. So how does it network form? How the structure of this endoplasmic reticulum forms? So let's see with the help of this diagram. The first, it occurs with the because of these reticulums. Okay. What are these reticulums? These are the proteins which are present on the endoplasmic reticulum or membrane, endoplasmic reticulum membrane. And what these do, these reticulums have a high tendency to form a curved surface or the curved membrane. So this would be present in the larger number, where this will be present in a larger number in case of rough endoplasmic reticulum at the end of this system. These are the sac-like structure. So at these reticulums will be present in the larger number because it has a tendency to form a curved structure. Next, it will be also be present in a large number in case of tubules of the endoplasmic reticulum, in case of smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which is a kind of tubular network. So these reticulums will be present in the large number along with this all the membrane. So that's why it forms a tubular structure. And the next is the presence of these atlastin say 1P proteins. So it are attached with the GT pins. And what does these proteins do? Uh, you know that the endoplasmic reticulum also has a tubular network inside the cells. Okay. but there is a continuous kind of fusion occurs inside the cell to form a more complex tubular meshwork inside the cell. And that fusion of these different tubules occurs with the help of these atlastines. So what are these atlastines? They are present on this endoplasmic reticulum membrane surface. These are attached with the GTPase enzymes. And once the hydrolysis of this GTP is done, what occurs is that with the help of these atlastines, this membrane gets fused, this form of fuse. So this fusion of these tubules occurs with the help of this atlastin family of dynamo-related proteins. This is how the structure of this endoplasmic reticulum forms, a curved structure. There are some other factors related with the structure of the endoplasmic reticulum inside the cell. These are the interaction, how they interact with the microtubules. So you know the microtubules are present inside the cell, right? So actually, the endoplasmic reticulum, the motor proteins can just pull this endoplasmic reticulum along the sides or along with these microtubules, and they can take this endoplasmic reticulum membrane towards the or the up to the ori channels which are present on the membrane. Okay. So that movement of the endoplasmic reticulum membrane towards the ori channels can occurs with the help of these microtubules or the plus N tracking proteins. Okay, with these plus N tracking proteins works on the microtubular networks along the line of the microtubular network. Okay, so this is one of the structural part of this endoplasmic reticulum. The next is the interaction with the actin skeletons. Actins present in the cytoskeleton, and they are mostly present in the neurons in myosin 8 transports, and these transport along with the actin filaments towards the dendritic spines of neurons. So inside the neuronal cells, this endoplasmic reticulum interacts with the actin cytoskeleton. Okay. So these are the part related with the structure of the endoplasmic reticulum. Okay. Now, as I have mentioned in the first diagram, that the endoplasmic reticulum is in contact with the various organelles inside the cells. So how this organelles or the attachment is occurs is with the help of these microtubules, right? As we have seen, along with the microtubules, they go up to what calcium storage channels or the ori channels, and also with the help of vesicle associated membrane proteins, that is the VAMP proteins, which are actually present on the endoplasmic reticulum membrane, but on the cytoplasmic surface. These VAMP proteins, suppose this is the endoplasmic reticulum. These proteins are present on what? VAMP are present on what? Endoplasmic reticulum, and they suppose this is anthorapsisome. So the FF80 or this is phenyl alanines in acetic acid tract. These are motifs. What does these motifs do? This FF80 motif, FF80 motif will bind this VAMP with the peroxisomal surface receptors. So these contacts will be occurred with the help of what? FF80. Okay. So these are all what the structural and some how the endoplasmic reticulum is actually inside the cell. So in the next lecture we will study about the ribosomes and the protein synthesis. Okay. So actually I'm trying to upgrade the our video lecture presentation regularly, but there is a little time for upgradation also for the notes. So there is a kind of delay for the lectures. So I hope the speed will also increase, and we will soon have the animated videos also where I will use the animations inside the lectures. So, but have a patience and have a trust on me. Have a nice day. Let's meet in the next lecture.